Happy Earth Day, everyone. Hello and welcome to the 2021 UNC Sustainability Awards. I'm Tracy Triggs Matthews, the Associate Director in the Center for Sustainable Enterprise, and I'm excited for tonight's celebration of all of you. We will recognize alumni, companies doing business in North Carolina, and students all working on employing sustainability best practices in business and life. The Center for Sustainable Enterprise serves as a hub for students, faculty, alumni, and businesses to come together around sustainability. Our mission is to drive responsible thought leadership and inspired action to accelerate progress in social and environmental sustainability through innovative and profitable solutions. We accomplish this by engaging with and connecting stakeholders to empower students, faculty, and businesses to create impactful solutions, strengthen resiliency, and identify breakthrough opportunities. First, we would like to thank our sponsors, Bank of America and Train Technologies, for helping to make this event happen and allowing so many students to be able to attend tonight. We will put links to their ESG reports in the chat. Next, we would like to thank a few of our alumni for helping us push initiatives forward. I want to recognize Carrie Kraft and Frank Siegel for helping us get our alumni networking events off the ground starting in the spring of last year. I also want to recognize Araya Chambers-April and Tom Burchard for helping us bring together the inaugural Susannah Schick Award being presented later this evening. I will also recognize other alumni and other portions of the program, so don't go away. Finally, we are so grateful for all the students who have joined us here tonight. Those MBA students who have obtained the enrichment concentration in sustainable enterprise, our MBA Kenan scholars, Anaga Kalvade, Lauren Ma, and John Macquarie, our 10 India Impact Challenge interns, our CSE Leadership Associates, as well as the Net Impact and Sustainable Business Club leadership and members. You inspire us with your knowledge, skills, creativity, passion, and courage. This has been a crazy year, and you all adapted and rose to the occasion over and over again. Thank you for your inspiration and leadership. And now, I will turn things over to another alum from UNC and a professor of the practice at Kenan-Flagler, Scott Maitland from Top of the Hill, to get us started with our signature drink mix, making an environment julep in both a cocktail and non-alcohol version. So turn it over to you, Scott.
All right. Well, you know, it is that time of year when we start having the Kentucky Derby. And so a classic cocktail is, of course, the mint julep. And what makes the mint julep interesting, and I hope you guys saw the recipe, and I hope you're going to be mixing along at home, but what I thought was interesting as I reflected on it today is that most cocktails require the spirit, a sweetener, and an acid, right? So that's why you're always going to have like a lemon or typically a lime, because the acid's going to cut through the sweetness and it's going to blend with the actual spirit. But the mint julep is interesting because you don't have an acid. And I think it's because the mint itself, we think of mint as being sweet, but it's really not. It's actually pretty bright and pretty sharp. And I don't know, maybe somebody out there knows the actual chemistry, but I'm thinking it's got a little bit of acid in it itself. So it cuts through the sweetness. So let's go ahead and make a classic mint julep. And if you want to make a non-alcoholic mint julep, then you could substitute ginger ale or soda water for this. But this is simple. We're going to use Topo 8 Oak whiskey. And again, for those of you that don't know and why I've been invited here, I just made myself a pretty good one, I think, is because we helped create the organic wheat market in the state of North Carolina. And so we only use ingredients that come within 100 miles of us. And in fact, our wheat currently grows about 20 miles from us. And on my way up to my lake house, I drive by both the wheat farmer and then the cattle farmer that gets the spent wheat and feeds it to his cows. So everything is full circle within about 30 miles from us. But I left the restaurant. I meant to get some mint, and I left the restaurant. I was parked across the street at the church, and I thought, oh man, I got to run up and get some mint, but I could smell mint. And so this is literally mint that was growing in the garden at the Baptist church across from top of the hill. So what we're going to do, and what you typically do, is put some of your whiskey in there. And then what you want to do is get some mint, and you're going to throw it in the bottom. Now, I told you how to make a mint syrup in the recipe, but traditionally you would take that mint and now you take it and you muddle it. So what you're trying to do now is kind of chop up the leaves so that the oils from the mint will come out and kind of give you some nice flavor. So there you go. And then also you could use sugar water, or I am going keto. Oh my goodness, can you believe I said that? But I use agave syrup now, which is really nice, a little more low glycemic. Add a little bit of that sweetener, muddle that up. Right, there you go. Then you're gonna pour it over a glass that's got some shaved ice or crushed ice in it. And there you have it. Now, if you want to do this, the other version is you would add a little soda water to this. So if you're not a professional grade drinker like I am, maybe add a little soda water to kind of lower the alcohol level. That is not how they do it in Kentucky. I'm just telling you that right now. And then if you were making a non-alcoholic version, instead of whiskey, just having mint syrup and soda water, or mint syrup and ginger ale, is fantastic. So anyways, everything, I assure you, everything that went into this drink, with the exception of, I guess, the agave, which was grown in Mexico, but everything else came within 30 miles. So cheers. Man, that's good stuff, Dad. That's good. That's all I got, Tracy. Would you like me to discuss how to drink it? I'm good at that. Tracy, you are still muted.
I am.
There we
Okay,
go.
Got it. Yes, Zoom. So thank you, Scott, so much. That was wonderful. And cheers to everyone. And now I would like to introduce Katherine Black. She is joining us tonight along with 7 other members from Bank of America, our gold level sponsor. Katherine is an alumna of the Kenan-Flagler MBA program and currently serves as an ESG programs executive, leading the local market teams in 20 major US cities to deliver on market strategies for Bank of America. She also works with the Charlotte Executive Leadership Council, a group of local CEOs focused on 4 key areas: education, workforce development, support services that include affordable housing, transportation and healthcare, and public policy. Thank you for your work and for being here tonight, Katherine.
Thank you, Tracy. And let me echo the sentiment you said earlier, which is Happy Earth Day. I actually moved where I normally do Zoom because I thought if it's Earth Day, you've got to see some greenery behind me. So this is actually a nice change. So hopefully my dogs will behave. I'm thrilled to be with you all for this celebration. As Tracy mentioned, my name is Katherine Black. I'm with Bank of America. And in addition to working on some just really exciting ESG, environment, social, and governance initiatives within our organization, I also lead data and reporting for ESG for our company. And I join many of my colleagues at Bank of America who are proud graduates of UNC Kenan-Flagler, and we are pleased to join you on Earth Day in support of the UNC Sustainability Awards. And I want to congratulate all of the nominees. Each year, Earth Day reminds us how important it is to protect, conserve, and restore nature. It causes us to reflect on how we can be better environmental stewards at home, in our communities, and through our work. At a time when the effects of climate change are felt across the country, including here in North Carolina, it's critical that we advance solutions like renewable energy and other clean technologies, invest in nature-based solutions such as trees, reduce waste, reuse items and recycle, and conserve water and other natural resources. At Bank of America, we recognize the role we play in creating a more environmentally sustainable future. We are carbon neutral and have made a commitment to reach net zero greenhouse gas emissions in our financing activities, operations, and supply chain before 2050. And to get there, we have a number of initiatives underway, including a partnership with Duke Energy's Green Source Advantage program to purchase renewable electricity from a 25 megawatt, 70,000 solar panel project being constructed in the Piedmont region. In North Carolina, more than 5 million square feet, representing 80% of our real estate space, is LEED certified. And we have solar projects underway on a number of our financial centers. Also, one of the first solar-powered ATMs is in Mooresville, North Carolina. We're also engaging the business community. Earlier this month, we increased our environmental business initiative to $1 trillion by 2030 to make financing available for environmentally friendly business activities such as clean energy generation, sustainable transportation, energy efficiency measures, biodiversity, and sustainable agriculture initiatives, and much more. This is in addition to what we have already deployed and mobilized for our clients, which totals $200 billion since 2007. Beyond business financing, it's critical to have local involvement to scale positive change. We are proud to share that we have signed on to support the new Invest for the Future initiative launched by the Center for Sustainable Enterprise, CSE, at UNC Kenan-Flagler Business School. This initiative will help UNC prepare students to be our sustainable finance experts of the future. As part of this support, we will partner with the CSE to launch a new student competition this year. This event will identify top talent and will provide them with an opportunity to create blended finance solutions to solve today's biggest challenges, including economic mobility and racial. Have I been on mute this entire time? Did I just go on mute? Thank goodness. As part of this, we will partner with CSE to launch a new student competition this year. This event will identify top talent and provide them with an opportunity to create blended finance solutions to solve today's biggest challenges, including economic mobility and racial inequality. We look forward to working with CSE and Kenan-Flagler to train future business leaders to drive positive social and environmental impact through positive and profitable investments. Thank you again for your tremendous partnership and your leadership in providing a world-class education to prepare so many of our state's most prominent leaders. So Tracy, I will turn it back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Katherine. And we are just thrilled to be working with you on this challenge. We are working to get interns hired, have a lot of excitement around it. And so, yes, we look forward to that coming forward in the fall. And so now I am honored to present our Distinguished Alumni Award tonight. This person will join an amazing group of people, including Lisa Spritz, Environmental Business and Engagement Executive with Bank of America, Brett Smith, the founder and president of Counterculture Coffee, Napoleon Wallace, founding partner of Partners in Equity, co-founder of Activist, and a senior fellow with Frontline Solutions, Katie Cross, who was the executive director of the Center for Sustainable Enterprise and is now the managing director of Duke's Center for Energy Development and the Global Environment, Dave Kirkpatrick, the co-founder and managing director of SJF Ventures, and Chris Vlahopoulos, who is now retired from his role as partner and practice area lead for clean tech and sustainability at Scott Madden, and is teaching a class on energy as a professor of the practice at Kenan-Flagler. This impressive group of people are all leaders in bringing the triple bottom line, people, planet, and profit, to bear on their work. Our 2021 Distinguished Alumni winner is Valerie Smith. Val is an MBA graduate of Kenan-Flagler Business School and began her career as an environmental specialist in the Peace Corps in Honduras. Currently, Val serves as the Chief Sustainability Officer at Citi. As Citi's CSO, Val oversees their global sustainability initiatives, including leading the bank's Sustainable Progress Strategy and Citi's 100 billion environmental finance goal. Val also serves as an advisor and spokesperson on sustainable finance, climate risk, stakeholder engagement, ESG integration, and sustainability trends towards a low carbon economy. Amazingly, Val finds time to speak with students, from serving as a keynote speaker at events to recently meeting with one of our STAR consulting teams. She is a passionate and tireless advocate for sustainability, and we are pleased to acknowledge her work here tonight and recognize her contributions to creating a better world. So I am pleased to hand over the award to Val.
Thank you, Tracy. And thank you all for having me with your program. And thank you also to Katherine and the Bank of America team. Bank of America is actually one of our closest collaborators as well as competitors. And it's really been a pleasure to develop our sustainability journeys alongside each other. I really appreciate the opportunity to join the Center for Sustainable Enterprises list of distinguished alumni in sustainability. It's an amazing group of collaborators and colleagues and friends, and great to be with you all. I am especially sorry to not be with you in person because the mint julep drink looked really good, and it is not yet mint julep weather here in New York, I am sorry to say. Hopefully we'll have a true spring soon. But I wanted to talk just a little bit about what my experience with Kenan-Flagler has meant to me, some of the learnings and skills that I've carried with me through the almost 20 years since I've graduated, and how they have affected my journey with Citi, and I think Citi's sustainability journey as well. I don't have to tell you that Kenan-Flagler is a really unique place. It has this amazing ability to combine top-notch business education with this sense of community and collaboration. And all of the teamwork that is sometimes foisted on you when you're at Kenan-Flagler, the intense amount of work and assignments you have to plow through as a student, I realize now that those are really exercises that are designed to build our muscle memory so that we can take this sense of community and collaboration and perseverance with us when we go out into the world. So I graduated from Kenan-Flagler in 2002. My classmates and I went out into the world as the dot-com bubble had burst, feels like a million years ago now, and we were reeling from the terrorist attacks of 9/11. It wasn't quite the world that we face today, but it felt really precarious all the same. Nonetheless, in a fit of optimism, I had declined a full-time offer from my summer internship, having recommitted to focus my career on sustainability. So I joined Kenan-Flagler because of the Center for Sustainable Enterprise. And upon graduation, without a job offer, I went to the directors of the Center for Sustainable Enterprise at the time. I had my hat in hand, and I was hired to manage 2 consulting projects that were just getting underway. After 6 months with the center, a brief stint at a research institute in Houston, and lots of informational interviews, I moved to New York and joined Citi in 2004 in the sustainability team. At that point, we were a team of 2.5. And over the years, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to work on nearly every element of Citi's sustainability program. I started out doing a lot of work with our facilities team. We now have 7,000 facilities in 97 countries, and we were a much larger bank back then. But I was working with them to try to get them to provide data on our environmental footprint for our disclosure, something I'm sure Katherine is familiar with as well. I would meet with socially responsible and religious investors to listen to their concerns about environmental and social impacts of projects that Citi was financing. I did a 3-day road trip around West Virginia, meeting with activists and with clients in the coal mining sector. And then I came back to New York and wrote our first coal mining policy. So times have changed. Now our facilities team has their own sustainability group. We still meet with religious investors. They're actually some of my favorites to meet with, but most of our investor engagement is with our top institutional investors. Our coal policies have been updated many times over. We are now focused on getting out of coal. And recently, our environmental finance goal keeps getting updated. We now have a new $500 billion by 2030 environmental finance goal. And climate change has become a priority issue for Citi. Our new CEO, Jane Fraser, actually spoke at the White House Climate Summit today. She was on stage with Brian Moynihan from Bank of America. They're one of our closest collaborators in the sustainability space. But we know that despite the leadership that we have from Jane, we have to navigate some rough waters ahead. And so let me share a snapshot of our last month at Citi. In early March, we were named the #2 fossil fuel financer in the world by an annual NGO scorecard. It's not a moment of pride for us, but it is a reality of Citi's business. It's a reality, especially of our global footprint, and it's something we have to work on. Also last month, same month, our new CEO announced on her first day on the job that Citi was committing to be have net zero emissions by 2050 in alignment with the Paris Agreement's goals. So for a bank, net zero emissions is not just about our own operations, although that is hard enough. It is also about reducing to zero the emissions that can be attributed to our financing. So if you think across the value chain of a bank, our financing of oil and gas companies, our financing of technology companies, our financing of the countries of India and China and the United States, all of this has to go to zero. And if you are the #2 fossil fuel bank in the world, this really starts to look like business transformation. Now, in business school, we talk a lot about how sustainability needs to be integrated into business strategy. I am here to report back from the trenches that sometimes that is not the case, even in companies that are leading the charge. Over the years, over the more than 16 years that I've been at Citi working in these trenches, getting sustainability onto the agenda at Citi has been a slow and steady progression. But I think as we're all experiencing now, as they say, change happens slowly and then all at once. And we, as an institution, and I am living that change, that really rapid change right now. So today we had our kickoff meeting to begin the development of Citi's net zero emissions plan. Around our virtual Zoom table, we had the head of corporate banking for Citi, we had the banking heads for energy, power, and industrials, which includes really hard to abate from a climate change perspective sectors like steel and cement, automobiles. We had all of them together. We had risk management and finance. We had legal to keep us from getting into too much trouble. And some of the people around this Zoom table were frankly sometimes sustainability adversaries. We would have really heated discussions with them around risk management policies that we needed to develop, around specific transactions that we were arguing against being involved in. We would have to talk about reputational risk. We would talk about trade-offs, sustainability versus our business objectives, sustainability versus our revenues. Times have changed, and now these same bankers are getting into the weeds. They're learning about different climate scenario methodologies. They're discussing what metrics we should use to track our progress. They're talking about this as a business and value creation opportunity and how our client engagement strategies have to change. So we know that tackling climate change is going to require a complete transformation of our economy. And in this economic microcosm that is Citi, I'm starting to see how that transformation might be possible. It is an intense but awesome time. I mentioned the unique culture and attributes of Kenan-Flagler Business School. My current role relies so heavily on those learnings. The skills that Kenan-Flagler emphasizes, and I know continues to emphasize today, around learning how to think about sustainability as a driver of business strategy, building leadership confidence. For me, it was through a leadership role with Net Impact, developing that muscle memory for collaboration and teamwork and perseverance. These are essential for so many business roles, for so many sustainability roles. They are essential for my role today, and they're really an important part of my journey. So I am really honored and grateful to be with you. I'm so happy to be back together with the Kenan-Flagler family. I want to, especially thank you, Tracy, for all of your work to make this event happen. I think we started talking about this about a year and a half ago. And so we're here together virtually. And I'd also like to thank some faculty members that I didn't have the honor of studying with when I was in school. Olga Hahn, Jeff Middlestat, Nick Didow, for their work that's now ongoing to teach the future generations of business and sustainability leaders. Thank you so much for this award. I really appreciate it, and it's an honor to be with you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, so well deserved. And your words are really important for everybody here. I'm going to take it to my class on Monday also, just so you know. So thank you so much for that. So first of all, good evening, everybody. I hope everybody has had an impactful, healthy, and fun Earth Day. And I know that we got started with some fun with the environment julep already. I will have mine after I'm done with this part, but my name is Jeff Middlestat. I'm the executive director of the Center for Sustainable Enterprise. To keep it all in the family, I got my MBA from Kenan-Flagler Business School in 2007. My wife and I were married at the Great Room at Top of the Hill. So we're trying to keep this going and build and build and build. So thank you everybody for being here. I'm here to present the 2021 UNC Sustainability Award for a North Carolina business demonstrating initiative, innovation, and impact in sustainability. Before I do that, I want to tell you about this process, because this is the first year we've done this, and it is awesome. It's a very rigorous process. So the way it started this year is that our undergraduates in the Carolina Sustainable Business Club nominated the companies that are running for this award. And the way they did that is they all got together, they researched a lot of companies that do business in North Carolina. And then within those, they interviewed a lot of companies that do business in North Carolina. And they were looking at them in terms of that initiative, innovation, and impact that they have within sustainability. So after they nominated these companies, they handed all of this information they gathered over to Kenan-Flagler Business School's MBA Net Impact Chapter, who then scoured through all the information and compared them across initiative, innovation, and impact in order to figure out who's going to get this award in sustainability, right? So let me preface this by saying there are no losers in this game. Everybody nominated has extraordinarily positive impact, and it definitely illustrates initiative, and we've seen their innovation in sustainability. So this is no easy task for the students. So I just want to make that very clear. Again, there are no losers in this process. We're all measuring ourselves on something that has a positive impact on the world around us. It's fantastic, and everybody's that's been nominated and evaluated for that matter is doing amazing things. So, but we have to give out an award, right? Otherwise, what's the purpose of an award show? So after the MBA Net Impact Chapter poured through everything and compared all of these companies that were nominated again by the undergraduate Carolina Sustainable Business Club, they chose this year's winner. So let's put the nominated businesses slide up for a second here first. These are amazing businesses doing amazing things in our home state of North Carolina. We are the flagship campus. We are the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And so this is all based on not necessarily always companies that are headquartered in North Carolina, but companies that do business in North Carolina. And what we found is the students, after spending, I don't know how many hours and days going through all of this, chose a winner that I can categorically say embodies the full triple bottom line as John Elkington originally meant it to be. And that is not to use it as a balancing act, not to use it to measure trade-offs, but to actually simultaneously improve our impact on people and society, the planet, and economic prosperity. So the winner of the 2021 UNC Sustainability Award for a North Carolina business demonstrating initiative, innovation, and impact in sustainability goes to, anybody have a drum roll for me? Seal the Seasons, Alex and Patrick. Congratulations, you're on mute.
Go us. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
so-
Jeff. Thanks, Jeff.
There you go.
I got it.
Congratulations, you all are awesome. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you to the Center for Sustainable Business. We are so excited to accept this award and be here today virtually. It's really just a dream come true to be recognized, by Carolina, by Kenan-Flagler, by the Center for Sustainable Business for the work we're doing. For us, it all comes back to, our core belief that our communities are stronger when we all work together. We're strongest when we support each other. We build systems, resilient systems within our local communities. And as Alex and I were talking about this and preparing for this ceremony, we thought back to, kind of some of the core beliefs of Carolina when we first walked in as first year students. I remember, being on the tour and how much everyone emphasized that the people are really why, we're here at Carolina, really what makes Carolina special. And we just, really saw how that has resonated, through our time building this business, working in this business, and creating strong communities by working together and supporting each other. So we want to start by just highlighting a few and thanking a few people that helped, make all this possible and really helped our entrepreneurship journey through Carolina. Some of those people actually here on the call today, really making it full circle. First, the Campus Y and the Cube Accelerator, the first program that we worked with at Carolina. Mathilde, who ran that program and has been a friend ever since, created so many opportunities for the business and put us in front of so many business competitions to really hone our stuff. Startup UNC previously launched the venture. Randy Meyer, Tim Flood, Scott Albert over there. I still talk back to Tim Flood's recommendation of drinking water before you ever do any public speaking. It's just changed my life. Kenan-Flagler in general and the business school has been an incredible supporter of Seal the Seasons and having us in different business competitions. The Carolina Challenge, where probably did my worst pitch ever and really learned how to be under pressure. Thank them for that opportunity. And a special shout out to Scott Maitland, who was our social entrepreneur in residence back in the day at the Launch Chapel Hill, and dealt with plenty of Seal the Seasons drama, was there to be our advisor and advocate. So thank you, Scott, and thank you for the excellent cocktail. Really helped out. And finally, Invest for Impact competition and the Globe program have both been, huge parts of our journey at Carolina. And just, thank you to all the amazing people that really helped make this business possible. Following that, we just want to share a few of, the human stories behind Seal the Seasons and the people that really make it special. And some of our growers that have just believed in the business and helped move us to where we are today. Back as every entrepreneur knows, money is always tight when you're building a business, and it's really the growers that believed in us and were willing to sell us product on extended payment terms and extended payment schedule to make Seal the Seasons possible. You know, one of those growers is Curtis Smith down in Eastern North Carolina, out near Kingston, North Carolina. Curtis owns about 200-acre mixed produce farm, anything from cantaloupe to watermelon to kale and to our product of strawberries. And Curtis was president of, and still is president of, the North Carolina Strawberry Association. His partnership back in 2015 and his willingness to sell us 3,000 pounds of strawberries was game changing for our business back in 2015. We only supplied a few grocery stores, and those 3,000 pounds gave us the volume we needed to sell throughout the year and prove that local frozen could be a real business model. He didn't know if he was going to get paid, just some 22-year-old kid coming to his farm and looking for some strawberries. But Curtis's initial belief in us and his investment of those berries, which he was paid for that year, enabled us to grow the strawberry market to buying over 500,000 pounds a year now out of North Carolina, where before 2015 North Carolina had no frozen strawberry market. At the same time, we've grown Curtis's volumes from 3,000 pounds to close to 40,000 pounds, while expanding the market significantly to other growers for that total 500,000 pounds of annual strawberries. Another grower, Pure Berry Co. Up in New Jersey. Matt up there, him and his partner, they came from Wall Street. They were bankers. They went to business school, realized that Wall Street wasn't for them, and moved and bought land down in southern New Jersey. There they have, or when we first met them back in like 2016, 2017, they had like 5 acres in production of blackberries. We bought a few thousand pounds. Now this year, they're up to close to 20 acres of production as they've grown their farm. And they've expanded sales with us to, I believe, over like 25,000 pounds this year to fuel the Northeast market and put into our cherry berry blend and our berry blend. It's guys like this that are just so focused on the quality of the product, the passion for flavor, and they want to work with us because they can freeze it, right away and harvest it at the peak of ripeness versus harvesting it early and going through the whole, grocery supply chain, whereas to sit on the shelf and, sit in someone's fridge. We talk about roads.
Yeah. And I mean, that a lot of that is where we started and the growers we started with, who, are still a very big picture and a very big part of the growers we continue forward with. But new partnerships that we're looking for and looking forward to are folks like the Pasquawati tribe in the Maine wild blueberry growing region of Hancock County. Originally this is a tribe that was very limited in where they could sell their wild blueberries. Again, land that they had been on for quite literally generation after generation after generation. And over the next year or two, we're immensely proud and excited to extend an opportunity to bring their product to grocery store shelves across the Northeast. When we talk about Carolina being about the people, Seal of Seasons is based around the same way. We're focused on finding where those people are, where those stories are, and really portraying that and showing how by buying a product, you can make an immense impact on somebody's story, on somebody's life, and on somebody's livelihood. We're working to, again, evolve this beyond just the ownership groups of each of these farms and bring it down to the people, the field hands, the farm managers, the people that honestly are out there in the hot days of North Carolina summer, picking peaches, picking strawberries, picking blueberries, and making sure that we all have a great quality product to A, sell, but then B, for everyone else to enjoy. And this highlight of the people behind the supply chain is nothing particularly innovative, despite the stage we find ourselves on. But the commitment and intention around messaging that, we think that's just is increasingly important, and important not only have that awareness, but contribute your dollars in a way that matters. You want to go through the environmental stuff?
Yeah. So two other pieces of the business that we feel are really important beyond, supplying local food and connecting, consumers to their local growers, are designing business systems and business models that are inherently, better for the planet, inherently better for your carbon footprint. Designing Seal the Seasons to only source and sell locally, it inherently reduces, the 70% of frozen fruit that comes from foreign sources. We hope that in the long run, 70% is going to be domestically sourced, and long run 100% to really factor in that cost of carbon and the cost of climate change on the planet that our pricing models today really don't take into effect. We're really happy to again have Carolina's support through summer practicums. Last year, we were really fortunate to partner with Gillings to do a summer practicum and life cycle analysis of our North Carolina strawberry product. So we're not just doing some math on the whiteboard between Alex and I to figure out carbon savings, but have a real concrete study behind what we're doing. And then the other piece of it beyond just environmental sustainability and connecting consumers to their farmers is how the money and the finances move throughout the system. It's really important for us to design business models that empower family growers, empower family-owned businesses, and that our money and the money that Seal the Seasons is making goes to real people and real communities, with creating good paying jobs for those communities. So the profits aren't being sent offshore somewhere or to someone's bank account that already has enough, but we're trying to create abundance for our communities and people within them, and that all reverberates through the system and just creates a better economic opportunity for our communities and our planet.
But I mean, I think one of the things that brings us here is that we've learned at every stage of the business, and there's still a lot further we want to go. We talked a little bit about working with the Pasquawati tribe for changing some of our suppliers and diversifying some of our suppliers, but I think we're the first ones to admit that when it comes to buying specialty crops, specifically fruits and vegetables in the United States of America, you encounter mostly white, middle to older aged men that are the folks that we are directly interacting with and the folks who are running these family farms. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that because at the end of the day, agriculture is an industry that's been intensely affected by historical racism and discrimination. So for the most part, that's what is existing. That said, we as Seal the Seasons, we have control to change that. We're a buyer and a shopper for these products, and we actually are actively in another summer practicum this summer, actively changing and seeking out more racial equity in our supply chain by actually expanding our search, understanding more about what is out there. Are there specific crops? Why is the system built this way? Why are there so many more white versus Black or Latino or Asian American growers out there? Secondly, from our supplier base, we're moving towards race adjustment with our investor base. We're in a fortunate position where we now reach profitability, and we're actually actively making anti-racist fundraising decisions. So we're having investors take in a survey to understand more about, have them be more self-aware about how they are either racist, anti-racist in their current portfolio, or supporting the planet, not supporting the planet in their current portfolio. And then, finally, we're interested in trying to find and bring hyper-local and one-time products to market. One of the things that differentiates our business versus a larger frozen business is that we have so many products. So everything we do is locally grown, locally frozen, and locally sold. So everything's kind of very small batch. So we want to bring things that are truly tastes of the region to grocery stores, no matter how difficult it might perceive to be. So, for example, here in North Carolina, we understand strawberry rhubarb pie is a cultural tradition. Rhubarb is not a super easy crop to grow here in North Carolina, though, unfortunately. That said, we're taking steps to find ways to grow that product locally, because again, where demand exists, we know there are farms out there who will meet that demand, and again, the local agriculture economy of North Carolina is incredibly strong around that. And then finally, our final step, we want to increase our transparency via more technology in our supply chain. And again, this is ensuring that with every product, you can know who your product is actually coming from, and increase our accountability on ourselves to make sure that we're always sourcing local for you all.
And I didn't put this in our notes, but actually the first team that designed us a technology solution to track our products and communicate that transparency was a UNC student team.
Oh yeah.
So it just kind of comes full circle again that Carolina is on the cutting edge of doing some of these things and taking initiative, students with businesses to move sustainability forward. So again, huge props to Carolina. So wrap it up.
Yeah, so I think to wrap it up, and I think we're probably getting the cane here to slow down. Is I think to make impact, we can do a lot as individuals, and I think and I think a lot of times when people think about, hey, how can I make an impact? How can I make an impactful business? They think they have to disrupt the world. They think they need to take money from a SoftBank or one of the largest venture capital firms to really make a difference. And I cannot explain how much I disagree with that. We've seen just with the farmers in our communities that if you operate a farm, any kind of enterprise in your community that is, creating jobs, moving forward, conserving the planet, you can make a lot of strides to create the world you want in your community. And I think, when our direct impact is ensuring that we are providing products that will help influence the world you want to create. So we want to reduce the carbon emissions of frozen foods. We want to provide more dollars from our supply chain directly to family farms. And I think ultimately that's up in our hands to make those decisions as individuals as well as communities to create the world we want to create by playing a small part in everything we do every day. And I think with that, I think we're done.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Patrick. Clearly the award is very well deserved. Thanks for your overview and your connection still to Carolina. It's nice to see you, nice to meet you virtually. And again, congratulations. My name is Olga Hon, and I'm the faculty director of the Center for Sustainable Enterprise. And I'm joining in my role to congratulate all of our graduating students this year. What an MBA you are getting, like no other, that is for sure. This last year has taught you resilience, compassion, perseverance. What you went through, no other class has ever gone through. And in my attempts to congratulate you and talk about you even as students, as people, as human beings, I just think you're all champions. Champions of your own lives and champions of COVID, because we are winning, we're close, we're almost there. But I want to ask you, as stability comes back and life as normal is coming back to us again, don't forget all of the lessons that you guys learned during this year. And come back to campus. We will always be here to celebrate you in person starting next year. So keep these connections live. We will be helping you by providing opportunities to serve on multiple advisory groups for our center, as well as judging case competitions. And please, please, please come and be a guest speaker in our classes. We always want to learn from you, and please come and share your perspectives as you get out there to the real world and learn much more about sustainability that potentially we even do in the classroom. Stay in touch and please support. We're here to support you in any way that we can. So I would like to raise this glass, a big glass, in honor of our champions, our graduates of the Sustainable Enterprise Concentration Enrichment. And could you please pull the slide up with the names? Because I'm actually the least that I can do this year. Usually we will hand out the certificates to you at the ceremony. But all I can do today is just read out your names. And there are 2 pages, just to warn you, but I want to celebrate each one of you in this journey, especially as you set out and continue your journey out there in the wild. So I'd like to congratulate some of my students on this also. So Ben Alexander, Dean Amin, Haley Andrews, Will Collier, Sarah Crockett, Marcella, and apologies if I mispronounce any of the names, Del Rimple, Hannah Dancy, Caitlin Fogarty, John Franceschi. Gosh, I'm gonna have to open my own slide for this. Anuradha Gadre, John Gauthier, Brendan Hank, Christine Hefferman, Christina Keeley, Andrew Keenan, Cindy Kroger, Paige Kuklansky, Michael Kunath, Jacqueline LaFrance, Yuhio Lee, Chris Lund, Philip Mabry, Kathleen McKinsey, Taylor Mathis, Richard Myers, Anthony Miner, Arijit Mukherjee, Ike Nwasu, Aditi Paul, Brian Pereira, Chris Pearson, Matthew Perello, Sam Pollan, Megan Ramage, Lindsay Riddle, Alexander Rosenfeld, Gabe Rosner, Daniel Ryan, Drew Smith, Rawan Tiplinski, Meredith Dozer, Jason Tsai, Marshall Weisiger, Brent Williams, John Williams, Bradley Wampierski, Shunsuke Yamamoto, Joshua Seidlin. Congratulations to you all, and you truly deserve in this very difficult year. Congratulations to you. Please come back to campus, and we will also celebrate once we can in person at any other celebration that we will have. Now I'm going to hand it over to our current Net Impact President and my student, Eliza Kwanbeck, to present the Net Impact Award.
Thank you, Olga. The Net Impact Award recognizes an individual or group of individuals at Kenan-Flagler who've made a significant contribution to sustainability this year. This year's recipient was nominated by their peers, which speaks volumes about their contribution to the Kenan-Flagler community and their ability to, and I quote, lift everyone else up. From creating a speaker series about energy transition to developing internship opportunities for first years in the climate impact space, they have worked hard to bring more students into the green energy industry. They've demonstrated a philosophy of excellence and passion throughout their time in green energy, but also through their tireless leadership of the Energy Club. And as an integral member of the team that won the UCLA Challenges in Energy Case Competition in 2021, I am so proud to present the 3rd annual Net Impact Award to Anthony Miner.
Thank you so much, Eliza. Really appreciate it. And thank you all. It's a huge, tremendous honor to be recognized by fellow students, especially on a day like today, Earth Day. I'd like to thank the Center for Sustainable Enterprise and the Energy Center for providing the network, courses, and experiential learning opportunities to develop my knowledge in sustainability and energy as a student here. These opportunities were absolutely fundamental for me and a highlight of my MBA experience, and really provided the medium to partner with folks across Kenan-Flagler, especially Sarah Crockett and the Net Impact Club, to set up events for students like the Energy 101 speaker series, highlighting technologies driving the energy transition. I'm super excited for the future of sustainability and energy at Carolina, especially Kenan-Flagler, and I look forward to participating and supporting as an alumni. Yikes. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right, I am going to be awarding a Susannah Schick Award. So the Susannah Schick Award recognizes a current UNC Kenan-Flagler Business School student who, like Susannah Schick, MBA graduate of 2009, goes beyond the pursuit of a salary and takes on the challenges of environmentalism and social justice. So congratulations to the inaugural recipient of the Susannah Schick Award, Crystal Collins. Before Kenan-Flagler, Crystal's career was already focused on impact within the nonprofit and education sectors. At Kenan-Flagler, she's concentrating in consulting with an enrichment and sustainable enterprise. Given that she is the spearhead for much of the social work done on campus, it is only natural that she has taken on a substantial number of leadership roles, all in alignment with impact. She is the MBA SA VP of Community Service, Consortium's VP of Service, a Turner MBA Impact Investing Network and Training Program team lead, and Net Impact's VP of the 2021 Careers with Impact Conference. Crystal is currently a Northside Residency Fellow through the Marion Cheek Jackson Center for Saving and Making History, and her dedication to improving society, her gentle encouragement of her classmates to get involved in impact initiatives, and her current goal of getting a motorcycle's license aligns beautifully with Susannah's interests and passions. As the recipient of this award, Crystal will be connected with Susannah's extensive professional network in the sustainable business world and receive support from two classmates in particular of Susannah's, Araya and Tom, to support her in pursuit of her own professional endeavors. Congrats once again to Crystal.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I'm really honored to accept this award and to be a part of Susannah's legacy, who seems to have led such a passion-driven life. And I guess reflecting on this award is really reminding me exactly why I came to Kenan-Flagler. I'm surrounded with so many people who are as equally committed to making the world and business better. I think I remember coming to Kenan-Flagler and being really worried that I would get swept away in the hustle and the bustle of getting a high-paying job and would forget about my core focus and service and community. And I know that could be no further from the truth. You all heard it. I clearly have not stopped drinking from the fire hydrant, as they like to say. And so I guess I'd just like to thank the Jackson Center and Partnership in Aging, who are two wonderful programs I've been able to be involved with and learn so much about community organizing. And yes, thank everyone.
Thank you, Crystal, Sarah, Anthony, as well as Eliza. So now it's my honor to essentially introduce you to the next part of our celebration tonight. So I don't know how many of you have met Jacob Boehm before from Snap Pea Underground. I had the privilege to actually have his company cater to one of our conferences. And to this day, I still, I'm just, oh my gosh, when I think of that food and that experience, it is so great in any respect. So his business is really all about sustainability. And it's not just about social, but also environmental and local and fair pay and so many other ingredients that I'm sure he will mention today as you get to the cook along. So for those who registered, there will be a link in the chat to follow through. But all I want to say is that everything is so thought throughout. He's such a great professional. Even salt is sourced locally, and by locally I mean South Carolina, I believe. He may correct me on that one. But even everything is just to the best of anybody's imagination. So I encourage you to all join for the cook along and enjoy it and celebrate to the best that we can in these limited times. And I also want to thank Emily and Victor and Tracy and Jeff and anybody who participated in organizing today's event. It's always great to join even virtually and to continue building this community and continue awarding businesses and people that deserve it. So thank you all for joining. The cook along will start at 6. Please follow the link in the chat and I'll see you around. Please come back.